Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, something I've never done before, that being a deep dive analysis on a book, a FNAF book of course. Today, we're going to be taking a closer look at the brand new FNAF official character encyclopedia. For a little history, back on January 13th, 2022, the cover was officially revealed. I was absolutely blown away by the cover, and not in a good way. It was so jarring and bizarre, I honestly thought it was a placeholder, something that they would change later. I even posted this on my Instagram story. So that leads us up to today. Over a year later, the book has finally officially released. Surely they've altered the cover somewhere. Jeff Shake really just spent 45 minutes in Photoshop and called it a day, huh? Alright. This video has started off with a very negative vibe, so let's start off with the positives. The cover layout is very visually pleasing and professional, and the texture is very well done, very high quality, as usual with these FNAF books. But now, it's on to the questions. Why are Balloon Boy and Nightmare Balloon Boy just out in the cover void? It would look a lot better if they were either down by the rest of the characters or just removed entirely. Why is this render of Circus Baby so small? Like, significantly smaller than the rest. Do you have any idea how big she is? She is gigantic. And the way Freddy is holding Nightmare Foxy, I'm sorry, it just looks so dumb. Overall, I wouldn't say this cover is the worst thing I've ever seen, but when I'm pretty confident I can make this in under an hour, I don't know. But now, let's move on from the cover and go into the contents of the actual book. On the very first page, something that immediately caught my attention was a special thanks to Daco. Maybe Scott checked with Daco to make sure they got all the characters, I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to the next page, which is the table of contents. I find it interesting that Scott divided the animatronics by animal instead of game, starting with the Freddys, then Bonnies, then Chicas, then Foxies, then Puppets, then Balloon Boys, then Endos, and so on and so on. After taking a closer look though, some of the character placements are a little odd. First of all, why is Molten Freddy over in the endoskeleton section? I guess it is kind of a gray area, but I would personally put Molten Freddy in the Freddy section. With the Blob, however, there is absolutely no excuse. The Blob should either be over with the endoskeletons or the Freddys. It should not be directly in the middle of the humans. The order of everything else, however, seems to be pretty good. It can get a little spotty with game order sometimes, but overall, I'd say this was pretty well put together. Now that leaves us with just one final topic to discuss before diving into the meat of this book, that being what everyone's talking about, the missing characters. So let me get this straight. Human Heads, these guys from Sister Location, got their own page. You remembered Clockwork Minorina and put in characters that we didn't even know counted before? We'll touch on those in a minute. But you really forgot DJ Music Man, the Staff Bots, the Glam Rock Endoskeletons, Melted Chocolate Bonnie, Great Escape Golden Freddy, Fetch, Ralpho, and probably one of the biggest ones, the Paper Pals? But it gets worse, because there's two characters vital to the FNAF lore that they just completely forgot. The first being Michael Afton, and you know what, if it really is because of a lore thing, then sure, whatever, I don't care that much. It is a little strange, but I'll let it slide. What is not sliding, though, is Phone Guy. Yeah, Phone Guy isn't in here, and Phone Dude isn't either. I just cannot believe that. For a character who got their own slot in UCN, they just forgot? What? There are some characters they excluded that I guess I can understand, those being the UCN Fredbear, Crumpled Freddy from FNAF 3, and Wether Golden Freddy. They kinda just combined Golden Freddy and Wether Golden Freddy, so it's whatever. They've done this before on things like the Monopoly board, and hey, I guess it finally makes sense why Wether Golden Freddy wasn't in FNAF World, because Wether Golden Freddy isn't real. There is no such thing as a Wether Golden Freddy. Apparently. Now we can finally begin to dissect this book. Let's turn to the first character, the mascot himself, Freddy Fazbear. First impressions, I think it looks really nice. I'm really impressed with the layout. It's very sleek. We get to see Freddy's design, his game appearances, his book appearances, as well as a general description. They even go out of their way to point out the handprint on Freddy's right eye, something newer fans might not know yet. I'm impressed. The following pages featuring Toy Freddy, Withered Freddy, Golden Freddy, Shadow Freddy, and Phantom Freddy are all great as well, but when we reach Nightmare Freddy, there's a problem. First of all, the image is very badly compressed and pixelated. If you can literally see each individual pixel, then that's a problem. Second of all, Nightmare Freddy is not in FNAF AR's special delivery. He's not in the game. This book also says that Nightmare Chica's in special delivery, and Nightmare Bonnie, and Nightmare Foxy, and Lefty, and Endo 2, and Funtime Foxy, and yeah, sure, maybe they should have been in the game a long time ago, but I don't know what to say. They're just not in the game. They shouldn't be credited in the game if they're not in the game. But you know what? It's whatever. It's not really Scott's fault. It's Illumix's fault. Let's scroll through the next couple bears here, and oh, Blacklight Freddy. Wow, that looks interesting. I wonder.
What?
I think they're trying to talk about Dark Freddy from the Parts and Service Freddy Nightmare level in Help Wanted, but they have it credited as Blacklight Freddy from Special Delivery. Who wrote this? I just want to talk to him. Well, at least Party Freddy made it into the book. That's good, I guess. Next, we have the Bonnie section. Here, there's nothing too notable. Don't get me wrong, there's some cool things like Bon Bon being confirmed to be a girl and also interestingly referred to as the Bonnie Ham Puppet. And with Easter Bonnie, we get an interesting connection between Circus Baby and Rental and the Easter Candy Shop. But overall, nothing too crazy. This section is pretty solid. They didn't mess up a lot with the Bonnies. Moving on to the Chicas, the only thing that really sticks out to me is Toy Chica. For some reason, in this render of the AR model, the beak is very miscolored. Phantom Chica has some really cool art that I'm pretty sure has never been used or seen before, and Twisted Chica is credited as having no appearances throughout the series, which is true. The last two blocks of characters have actually been really good. Let's see if Foxy can keep up the momentum. I'm not really sure what to commentate here, so I'll just say this. The fact that they just put in a picture of a T-posing model, not even trying to hide it with a crop or anything, is just... Flipping over a few pages, we find Blacklight Foxy. Hey, this should be an interesting read. A set of Blacklight animatronics were developed for Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. These included variants of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, but they didn't appear in the finished game.
What? What are you talking about?
Okay, now let's talk about Shadow BB and Shadow Puppet. I'm sure those caught your attention. So apparently these come from BB's Air Adventure and Mangle's Quest. You know, those 8-bit minigames from FNAF 3. I'm not sure why they just used 2D art of Phantom BB and Phantom Puppet here. I'm not sure why these characters have their own page, but here they are. I think you get the gist by this point. This book isn't really that good. Whether it be Old Man Consequences not being credited as in FNAF World, or the team putting in an image of Endo 02 on the Endo 01 section. Like, how does that even happen? I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is that this book definitely missed the mark. Sure, I could sit here and nitpick every little thing the book did wrong. I'll put a small list on screen here, but honestly, what's the point anymore? It's just a repeat of the same mistakes over and over again. Really, the only valuable new information I got out of this book was learning that the Blob and Burnt Trap were not these characters' official names. All I have left to say at this point is that this is a book where you can judge it by its cover. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.